spoon. Here we go. Yeah, that's fine.
Well, hello and welcome back to Confused So Are We.
We're quite confused, and it's quite
Confused
warm.
and boiling up here.
Confused, boiling, and what? Bored. No, what is that? What's the podcast called again? Confused, so are we.
Yeah.
Cool.
We are confused and hot.
Confused and hot, so are we. No, that I can't get the grammar on this right at all.
Yeah, not quite.
Hi guys, welcome to the podcast. Sorry we had a few weeks off. It's been a chaotic few weeks, but we're hoping to get a few more recorded in the next few weeks, which is cool before the end
Hopefully
of term.
with some guests.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, I'll have some American guests next week, hopefully.
And we're going for a kind of summer-themed episode.
Yeah, I like this.
Because
This is dealing with the weather.
30 degrees outside.
Which is nothing. Buttons, I tell you. It's fine.
Well, yeah.
Okay, question one. I'm going to get to you first, Tobes. So what is your go-to ice lolly on a hot day? Can it involve ice cream, or does it have to specifically be fruity, frozen?
I think it's fruity frozen.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a Clippo, orange Clippo.
Oh, okay.
Childhood go-to, perfect.
Orange Clippo.
Goodness.
Yeah, we vibe Calippos in our house. I will say at the moment we have some cola Calippos.
Nice.
That red cover, kind of, that lovely brown cola flavour. That's pretty good. Yeah. My go-to on a hot day. You like a Solero?
I can get behind a Solero.
Yeah, it's kind of got that fruity, goopy goodness kind of going on around the outside, and then it's ice
fruity,
creamy,
goopy goodness.
Orange on the inside. That's it on a proper hot day, but then they don't last very long. They melt pretty quick. Although, to be fair, if we end up at like Redcar near the beach or something, other beaches are available, by the way, I tend to go ice cream. I love a...
Like a Mr. Whippy?
I love a chocolate top, which you can get at Redcar. Not a lemon top, a chocolate top.
Is that the one where it's like mixed in with chocolate?
Yeah, I think it's probably the top 2 inches of chocolate. The rest is Mr. Whippy.
Nice.
But you can get the bougie ones that have got it threaded throughout.
Yeah.
But yeah, Solero's a good, for the hottest day, Solero's a good shout.
Okay.
Other ice lollies are available, of course.
Yeah, we are trying our hardest not to get copyright infringements on this.
We have a lot of listeners, Tobes. Sorry. I was going to say the lawsuits are stacking up against us.
I know.
So. Best random stay cool advice.
Oof.
What's your stay cool advice, Tobes? Mine's long and boring, so you better go first and entertain
I've
people.
got 2.
Okay.
I have the one that I discovered the other day, which is just buy a massive water bottle.
Massive water bottle.
Keep it full with water and ice and next to you all day long because you're encouraged to drink. I think people don't drink enough water anyway.
Agreed.
But if you do that, it's like there, and it's a bit of a distraction so that you can kind of drink it, and it's got ice in, so it keeps you cool. My second one is
a
water gun.
So close to the microphone. He just squirted me. Can I ask, where did the water for that come from?
From what?
For that? Where's the water from?
The tap.
Just now? Or was it a jug?
A couple of days ago, the tap.
Oh, thanks for squirting me with several days old water. It doesn't smell that bad, but oh my word. I'm just going to move this out of the way. I'm not going to spray it. I'm just not going to have it near me.
Well, it's stay cool advice. Have a water fight.
Was that ASMR? That technically spraying my beard with water. Hit me right on the chin. Best stay cool advice. It's really boring, but the actual way to keep your house cool is you close the curtains and the windows to the sun, and you open the windows and the curtains to the dark side of your house. So you have to. It's when you're in during the day, and you have to be active in it. So when the sun's shining on that wall of your house first thing in the morning, shut the curtains, shut the windows. You're not letting the hot air in. You open the windows and the doors and the curtains on the far side of the house.
Yeah.
And as it passes noon, you do.
That's quite a good idea.
Run around the house and close the opposite. But I was surviving crazy hot weather in Cambodia, and it really worked. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Best of all worlds. So Otherwise, just get in the shower.
Get in the cold shower.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
Gross story for you. I had a prickly heat skin problem when I lived in Cambodia because it was so ridiculously hot and damp and nasty. And I went to the doctors. I said, I need some help with my skin. It's really not coping with this weather and all that carry on. And she was like, okay, right. Looked at me, right, I've got some medicine for you to help with your skin. And she said, what I need you to do is try and work somewhere where you've got aircon. And I was like, I work in kind of like a tiny tin shack in a slum area in Cambodia. I'm like, there is no aircon. Okay, if you can shower 2-3 times a day, I can stop you there, doctor. I'm already at 5. I'm showering 5 cold showers a day. Unless I take my lesson planning in a plastic bag in the shower, I can't actually function. So anyway, so I've got some stronger stuff. But yeah, So yeah, cold showers is my advice. Advice.
Okay, question numero 3.
Yeah, 2 kind of interesting ones to discuss that kind of from the Bible.
Yeah. Were the disciples actually Jesus' friends, or were they like students?
Students. Good question. What do you think? Do you have a thought?
Well, I think it's an interesting one because they were students in the same way we are all students to the kind of teachings of Jesus.
Lifelong learners.
Yeah, but it also does talk about them being friends, and this kind of, and you think about it even with the weather today, like they would have been kind of chilling out, getting the sun on, and
probably avoiding the sun.
Yeah, but they would. I wouldn't. Yeah, it does talk about it in the Bible, Greg, and I'm going to assume that you have found that. Amazing.
Passage, yeah. I think the interesting thing, I think there's some pretty close lines here. But I would say, in terms of the rabbinic culture in Judaism, the students, the disciples of all the rabbis at that time would do everything with them. So they would be with them on their preaching tours. They'd help them kind of find places to stay for the night. They prepare their food. They can do a lot of the admin, life admin for the rabbis, and learn alongside them and do everything with them. So it's a very close relationship. But yeah, there is a master and learner element at play, like Jedi and Padawan element.
But even with them, they still went about and were friends together.
But yeah, they still had downtime together. They did everything together. I'll read this from John. This is Jesus talking to his disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Now remain in my love. If you keep my commands, you'll remain in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commands and remain in his love. I've told you this, so that you, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be complete. My command's this. We're getting there. My command is this: love each other as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends if you do what I command. I no longer call you servants, because a servant doesn't know about his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends, for everything that I have learned from my Father I've made known to you.
Well, so he explicitly calls them friends.
He calls them friends. Yeah, it's a closer relationship than just disciple. And I think as Christians we're called into friendship with Jesus, not just service. No, we're supposed to serve. We're also called to be his friend and be close to him. So yeah, it's right there in John. Yeah, so
plain and simple.
We don't look for answers in this podcast, but that feels like a pretty simple. Yeah. Read John 15:15 and you'll get what you're looking for.
Amen.
Hey, we're doing pretty well. We've got one more. Before we have to get out this terrible heat in this office.
This kind of prefaces this office is the top room in the church. All the heat has risen.
Why are we recording here? We could record anywhere. Anyway, never mind.
Maybe we need to go on tour around the church.
Just avoiding the heat. Yeah. So we can get out of the sweat box. Let's look at number 4, shall we?
Why
did God put the apple tree in the Garden of Eden? Dude, there's two elements to this question.
I was going to say that.
It's quite controversial.
Yeah.
So, why did God put the apple tree in the garden? Is it an apple tree, Tabes? What do you think?
Oh, I don't know. That was... well, like you said, there's 2 elements to that. Why did he put it there in the sense of why did he give them the opportunity to do bad?
To break the...
And then, rule. Why an apple tree?
Yeah, let's start with the apple. It's not easy.
Well, I would have rather it was kind of like a KFC tree.
Do they exist? I've never seen chicken grow on a tree. I've seen chickens in trees, but not like...
In my magical imagination, it does.
In your fantasy world, KFC would... Actually, yeah, it tastes really good, but actually too much of it's really bad for you. So actually, that's quite a good tree of temptation.
In the same way, they didn't have KFC or sweets. Apples would have been like a sweet treat. Like they were nicer, they were refreshing. So maybe that was absolutely what they desired in the Garden of Eden. That was...
I think basically medieval art depicts the Garden of Eden scenes, and they tend to be apple trees.
Yeah.
So that's why we end up with the idea, but that's actually,
it's
that's
just like fruit, isn't
it? About 1,300 years or more after the fact. No, that's wrong from Jesus' point, but actually, like from Garden of Eden times, like thousands of years. So no one knows what the fruit was. I don't think it's an apple tree. I always say this to young people when they ask me. There's no reference to apple specifically.
It just says fruit, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, should we go there?
Oh, please do.
Go there? All right. I'm just gonna have to pick out the specific passage. Yeah. Okay. He tends to it, and God says to Adam and Eve, "But the Lord God warned them, You may freely eat the fruit of every tree in the garden, so that could include
Yep.
apples, all right, except the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. If you eat that fruit, you are sure to die. So it's the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil.
Mm-hmm.
No mention of apple. What fruit would that be? Could be mango.
Yeah.
Something that's different on the outside from the inside. Dragon fruit.
Yeah, good and evil.
Yeah,
Or like
good.
a pineapple. It's
Oh.
good in the inside, evil on the outside. 'Cause it's got
It's
spikes.
really hard to get to on the outside.
Yeah.
Lychee's quite spiky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, so I
Ooh.
think more tropical. I'm just going to put it out there. Rather than apples a bit simple,
But
bland.
But either way, it would have been like every fruit in the garden, the most perfect of fruit. Like it's the
Yeah.
Garden of Eden we're talking about.
It's fruit. Yeah, I'm not sure. Actually, to be fair, I'm not sure we have this fruit anymore. It's probably still reserved in Eden, in
Holy fruit.
holy fruit. Yeah, it never mentions apple. The really main part of the question is why did God put the apple tree there? Why, as you said, why did God put temptation in their way? You got any thoughts on that? Very philosophical question.
Yeah. Well, it's possibly something to do with free will.
Mm-hmm.
That God wanted to give us the option to choose a life without Him,
Yeah.
and that was His way of making sure that we could choose. He wanted us to. He didn't want us to be mindless follow-on machines.
Yeah.
He wanted us to actively choose to be with Him. Yeah.
That's absolutely spot on. Yeah, no, I think, is it really love if He forces Adam and Eve to follow His way? Like,
Absolutely.
kind of not in chains physically, but metaphorically. There's no way of leaving or no way of getting out of getting your freedom. There's no way of getting it. Therefore, is Adam and Eve's love for God real if they have no choice to love Him? And that's why there's one thing they can do that breaks that relationship, that goes away from what He wants for them. So I think it's an act of love that He put the tree there, and they have a choice. You know, the red button, don't touch the red button. And
don't touch the red button.
Human nature being what it is, Tobes,
We'll touch the red button.
Yeah, that's the way of it. But that probably leads us into a much longer podcast chatting about free will and why does God allow us free will? Because obviously with it comes pain, death, suffering, issues of kind of sexism and racism, discrimination, and pain in childbirth and disease and death. That's a massive podcast, more than we can cover today.
Absolutely.
But I think it's an act of love that He puts the tree there. And I'm really curious what that fruit would be. In fact, that's probably one of the first questions when you get to heaven. Can I see some of that fruit?
Can I try it?
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
No. Can I try
back?
the good alternative of it?
Yeah. I'd love to see that tree. There's fruits that I've never seen. That's the thing I'm curious about. Yeah. So everyone out there, stay hydrated.
Stay
Listen to Toby's
hydrated.
good advice.
If you see Greg, shoot him with a water gun.
Apparently, he shoot him in the beard. Yeah. It's actually quite cooling when he got over the shock of it.
See, there you go.
Oh, he didn't do ASMR. I brought the thing you could do. This.
Okay,
I think
little mini.
I've never done this.
ASMR.
That was a long rip.
Yeah.
I like that. That's good. Do both quickly.
Nice
Work. Good
there we
ASMR.
go. We finish on a high.
Yeah, man. We love discussing things that make us confused. And you guys help that. So if you have confusing things,
talk to us about
questions, just send in the questions.
Yeah.
Whether you see us or whether you put them on.
And next week, tune in from YouTube because we are going to be going on tour and we're going to sit somewhere else on the church.
We have to find somewhere cooler than here, bro.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
We are confused.
Very.